Creatures, let's talk about AEW Dynamite and Rampage. They came on back to back tonight because apparently on Friday night there's something more important going on than pro wrestling. I don't know what that is, but wrestling, that's my thing. Now, we did start off with Mercedes Moné giving us a little promo. Long story short, there's unfinished business between her and Willow Nightingale, and the reason why she was getting involved with the attack with Julia and Sky Blue was because she don't want nobody messing with her business, which is Willow Nightingale. Long story short, you guys, Mercedes, I'm glad she's there. She's great in the ring. Her promos are horrible, and this right here tonight, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard from her, but I just like, girl, I feel nothing when you speak on the mic, and there's just something missing, and she's just not that great on the mic. But like I said, I'm glad that she's in AEW. Now, before our opening match, we do have the Young Bucks and Okada coming into the building. The guy with the glasses, I can never remember his name, asking them questions, and it was interesting because Okada was speaking in Japanese, and the Young Bucks was telling the guy who was interviewing them to learn Japanese so he could speak with Okada. You know what I mean? Have a conversation with him when he wants to ask questions. And when he spoke Japanese, Okada, I was just like, all right, that I heard all I need to hear. I don't know what you said, but this right here shows that there's no excuse for Takeshita to not have said a word on the damn show. He's amazing in the ring. There's no reason why we can't be able to hear from him. We've been saying for so long that Takeshita, we don't give a damn what language you speak. You should be able to speak for yourself, and they should be able to be creative with how they, pretty much have what he has to say and translate that for fans to understand. Like, people want to see more of Takeshita. This guy is, world title worthy, in my opinion. Now, we do have our opening match, Kazuchika Okada versus Eddie Kingston, for the first time since Eddie Kingston has been the Triple Crown champion. He is defending one title at a time. This is the very first time. So the Continental Championship was on the line. I'll be honest, there was a couple of great moments in this match, but there's nothing about this match that screamed to me championship worthy. Maybe because it was on fucking on Dynamite or whatever, but I just don't know what it is. Eddie Kingston, for a while, he comes out there and you feel like you're getting mid from him. Like, you're not getting the best from Eddie Kingston. And that's the reason why I've been wanting him to lose these titles, because it's like, Eddie, you're tired. Go home, spend time with your family, and come back when you're feeling better. Right now, it's just not working out. Okada ends up taking the win with a Rainmaker, obviously, and he's the Continental champion. And I'm really glad that the title changed hands. Eddie still has 2 titles. He still has a New Japan Openweight title, and he still has the Ring of Honor World title. So it's not like he don't got nothing. He got something. But one of those titles end up changing hands, which is great because now there's another title, another singles title, that opened the doors for other people who hasn't been having opportunities because the TNT title been locked in without a stepdaddy, and Orange Cassidy was hogging that international title for so long. Someone else finally got it. So now we have another singles title that other people can go for, and I'm totally cool with that. I couldn't have it any other way. However, don't get all happy and celebrate because our bastard Pac comes out having a stare down with Okada. We're going to get these 2 monsters to get in the ring with each other, and I can't wait. So we're back from commercial. We have Renee Paquette with Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, and Stokely. I forgot to mention this, but Sky Blue and Julia does go to attack Mercedes in the opening of the show, and Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale comes out for the save. Now, when Mercedes looked back and sees Willow's holding a chair, and it looked like Willow is about to hit her with it, and she's feeling some type of way, like Willow was about to attack her. Now, here they are backstage later on in the show, and here is Mercedes coming to thank Chris Statlander for having her back, because obviously Willow looked like she was about to hit her with the chair. Whatever, I'm bored, I don't care. And what was funny, though, was Stokely was trying to introduce himself to Mercedes, but Mercedes been walked away or whatever. I don't know. It was so funny. Now, what was not funny was Chris Jericho versus Hook. Let me just say this. Hook, It looked like he combed his hair this week, so that's one nice thing I can say. I have to be dead honest. Like, when I'm watching wrestling, I know maybe sometimes I can be a little harsh with the critiques, maybe not even harsh at all. I have to say, the Hook can obviously wrestle. He does not wrestle well. These past few months that we've been seeing him in the ring, where he's not in squash matches, when he's in the ring with more experienced wrestlers, you can see his flaws even more. Hook, I don't know how old you are, baby, but you're gonna have to go back to school and learn something. I don't want to see the same old 50 million types of suplexes in the match and a red rum, a weak ass lariat, and then you end up winning. To be honest, I have not seen anything to impress me when it comes to Hook. And I'm just like, well, what's going on here? For a long time, he was undefeated. And now that he's actually getting in the ring with, experienced wrestlers, I'm watching him and I'm just like, bruh, what can you do? I don't see anything special. I'm sorry to say, but if you guys really pay attention to his matches, it's the same thing every single time. How many Germans, how many different type of suplexes do you need to do in one match? Is that the only thing you can do? Oh my God. And then Chris Jericho. I don't know what Chris Jericho was going for, but he ends up throwing Hook. And this Hook was just millimeters away from getting his neck broken, okay? And I'm watching this and I'm like, this is a fucking mess. I'm even embarrassed to be watching this. This match was not great to me at all, and Chris Jericho, you've been around for a long time and you've had your best is behind you. I'll put it that way. However, even Chris Jericho in this match making these amateur mistakes that could have damn near paralyzed Hook in this match, and it was really difficult for me to watch. Hook does end up taking the win with a roll up, and I'm just like, oh, that was the only way that Hook was going to end up beating you, with a roll up. And Chris Jericho's over there looking all shocked and surprised. This was a hot mess. Don't even bother watching this. But I do hope that Tony Khan, they actually showed a little scene of Tony Khan and the Young Bucks watching Okada's match from backstage. Your ass better have been sitting there the whole night and watching Hook and saying, you know what? Hook, you got the basics down packed. But in order for you to succeed in AEW and for people to believe that you can beat the opponents that you want to ring with, you're going to have to go to some kind of school and get some more help. There's something that he has something that's there. However, the whole potential and everything has not yet been unlocked. After this, we have another video from Adam Cole where he's in some mansion or whatever the hell he's at, but he had a really nice jacket on. It was cute. Now, basically, he was saying that they were disappointed in Wardlow because Wardlow could not take the title from Samoa Joe so that Adam Cole can have, and that since he's a fucking loser, the only thing that he can do is walk around with the Undisputed Kingdom and make sure those motherfuckers don't lose their titles. Okay, so Wardlow has been reduced to being a fucking tower boy or a water boy or something, and I'm just like, wait a minute, we had some really strong promos from Wardlow. I didn't care too much about the match that he had with Samoa Joe, but y'all could be building him up. And instead, y'all just taking him down a couple of notches to just watching and making sure that the other people with titles in the group keep their titles. Okay, I'm over it. Now we do have Chris Jericho with Renee Paquette backstage, and Chris Jericho shocked as hell that his ass lost the match, but then he goes and says, oh, that's exactly what I expected. He's lived up to my expectation, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes and said, Hook, next week I got a proposition for you. And then that was pretty much it. And I'm just like, I don't want to see y'all in the wrestling again. I don't want to see y'all selling Girl Scout cookies. I don't even want to see y'all having a conversation again. So I don't know what this proposition is. I don't want to see you two guys near each other after what I just witnessed you guys do earlier tonight. Now, after this, we do have Will Ospreay, who's in the ring for 5 minutes. This dude is taking 7-hour flights from the UK to Canada, and then to go back home to be in the ring for 5 minutes to respond to what Bryan Danielson said in Collision. At some point, Will Ospreay is just gonna be like, hey, bruv, Tony Khan, Can we just do this via satellite thing? Because it's like 5 minutes in the ring and then you just go back home on a 6-7 hour flight is insane to me. I don't know if I could be that dedicated. However, basically it was a response to Bryan Danielson from Collision, and to show that he's like up to Bryan's level, he's going to go against Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata, you guys know, is one of my faves. The last time he faced Shibata was 7 years ago, and it's so funny because I was actually watching that match yesterday, and here we are with Will Ospreay challenging Shibata. Shibata kicked the living hell out of Will Ospreay in that match. Matter of fact, Will Ospreay probably died in that match and somehow made it alive. And now here we are 7 years later where he is challenging Shibata. He says, Shibata, I am not the little 23-year-old boy from 7 years ago. I'm a 30-year-old man. I have grown. I'm better, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to get that match next week on Dynamite. And I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be so good. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. You know, if anything, Tony Khan, thank you for that, because that is worth the watch. All right, so up next, we have tag team action with the ladies, Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo versus Timeless Toni Storm and Toni Storm. For whatever reason, Mariah is still dressed up as Toni Storm. Luther is ringside just cracking me up. He's so hilarious. I didn't care too much for this match, but I think it was interesting to point out here that Thunder Rosa obviously wants a title shot, and she's trying to do things to stand out here, and even like tagging herself in when Deonna's putting in work, and that does leave a sour taste in Deonna's mouth, and she's not feeling it. But Thunder Rosa ended up taking the win for her team, pinning our girl Toni Storm, and I found that to be interesting because I thought that they would take the win, but the pin would be onto Mariah. So now Deonna's not happy about it, not getting the win for the team, and obviously not pinning Toni Storm. And you can see that there's a little slightly bit of animosity between the two of them. I don't know where it's going, but it looks like because Thunder Rosa pinned Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa is definitely going to use this to help get her an opportunity to go for the title, maybe at the next pay-per-view. I'm not 100% sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if Deonna cuts in and say, hey, I should get my rematch because Toni and Mariah made these bitches cheated to win. It could be ended up as a triple threat match. We don't know. That's possible. Now, Swerve had an open challenge, okay? He said he wanted one of the big dogs in AEW to get in the ring with him later on. And it turned out to be the Butcher. This wasn't a complete squash, but it just wasn't interesting. I didn't really care about this. Swerve ends up taking the win via submission. It is what it is. However, we have company. Swerve gets on the mic and he's basically talking about how he wants the world title. He ain't finished with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe comes out with that title sitting pretty on his shoulder. And they're going back at it, back and forth on the mic. Things are getting interesting. And then Samoa Joe is like, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. Samoa Joe is getting ready to get in that ring. And I'm like, holy shit, they about to throw down in the ring. I'll take it. I'm cool with it. However, music hit. And it's Uncle Don. And I'm just like, all right, what you doing out here with this segment? Like, this kind of felt very random. And he comes out, he's like, I don't care what y'all got going on. But Takeshita's bored. And I need to give him someone to get in the ring with. So Swerve, you, Takeshita, next week on Dynamite. And I'm just sitting here. And I'm just like, what did I do to deserve such a wonderful match? Not only Shibata and Will Ospreay next week, but Swerve versus Takeshita. Lord have mercy. Dynamite's going to be great next week. Now, I'm not going to lie. Uncle Don being out there was random. But they booed the fuck out of him. And they in Canada, too. In his own country. They don't give a damn if he's from Canada or not. They booed the hell out of him. And the boos was just music to my ears. But next time, Tony Khan, get some subtitles. Because we couldn't hear a damn thing that Uncle Don had to say. It would have been nice to hear everything he had to say while he was being drowned by those boos. All right, you guys, main event time. We had the TNT title on the line. Adam Copeland versus our stepdaddy Christian. in a I Quit match. I have to say this. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through every detail of this match, but I really felt like it started off fun. For the longest in this match, Adam was in control, and it was really, really fun. We had tables, ladders, and chairs, oh my. And we had them fighting throughout the crowd or whatnot. There was even a spot here while they're in the crowd. Adam takes off jerseys over two guys. One is from Boston. The other one is from Toronto. He puts the Boston one onto Christian, and then he puts the Toronto one on him. I mean, it was absolutely funny. And I think people did appreciate some of the little comedy, the light comedy in this match. There was even a part where Christian ran into the women's bathroom, and Adam is looking like, should I go in there? Then he goes in there, and all of a sudden you see all the girls just running down, running and everything. And I'm like, girls, what? I would have stayed in that bathroom. And I would have been like, Adam, what's up? Christian, what's up? I'm not going anywhere. Now, like I said, it started off really fun, and you could really see that Adam really wants the TNT title. Now, there's a part here where they make their way up to the stage, and Adam goes to the back and comes back with a hockey net, and he's using that in the match as well. Now, on their way back from the stage going towards the ring, he's walking, and then all of a sudden Mama Wayne gets involved and gives him a low blow with a hockey stick. And I was just like, holy shit, all right. And at that point is where our stepdaddy started getting control in this match. Now, I kind of was like, damn, I was kind of hoping there would be no interference, but I'm not surprised. And I was like, I hope that no one else comes out. Mama Wayne ain't nobody really. She's not really a threat or whatever. So I'll take that, whatever. Now, the match continues, and obviously nobody's saying that they quit. It keeps going. Adam was busted open from God knows what. Like, I literally didn't see what it was that made him bleed like that. Whatever the situation is, I was enjoying the match. I kind of was ignoring Mama Wayne being out there. Then here comes Nick Wayne and Killswitch. And I'm just like, oh my God, whatever. It is what it is. And real talk, I really don't care who was going to take the win here. Because for me, either way, I couldn't see where they were going to take the story. That's all that mattered to me was whoever wins, where does the story goes next? And I cannot even predict that because really there's almost nothing to take from it from here. Whoever wins. Now, these idiots get involved, and it's obviously an issue for Adam to be going against all these people. And then here comes backup, Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia. Now, while for a second I was happy to see that Adam was getting help, I was just like, all right, these two are kind of useless. I don't know what we're going to do. They actually helped handcuff all three of them. Mama Wayne ends up running out, scattering like flies, and then they end up putting handcuffs on all three of them, our stepdaddy, Nick, and Killswitch. And they, I just felt like all this was not needed. Once y'all was able to control the situation, Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia should have got the fuck out of there. But then here comes Adam going under the ring. He gets the box that's a spike, takes the spike, and gives Christian a low blow with it, and it looks horrible. And then he goes to go for it again, and then Christian obviously says that he quits because who wants to be hit with like 1,000 nails on their fucking nuts? I don't have nuts, and I know that shit hurt. Now, Christian ends up unfortunately not winning because I really did enjoy Christian with the title. He brought something that made the title mean something. And that I really do appreciate. He was absolutely entertaining in this character, and I absolutely love it so much. And I couldn't say anything more to that. So congratulations to Adam, who wins the TNT title for real this time. Can't wait to see what happens next. I don't know where they're going with it, but I can see Adam doing the title some justice, just like Christian. All right, on to Rampage. The ring is an absolute mess, so they got to clean shit up. So we end up having a video from The Ass Boys and Jay White, they chilling wherever the hell they at, wherever they are. That's where I want to be too. They're in the pool. They're making fun of Darby Allin as a skeleton climbing Mount Everest. It was actually pretty funny. We had a few minutes of that. Basically, they had some words for Daddy Ass and the Acclaim. And then once that video is over, then we have the Acclaim come out. No Daddy Ass, because Daddy Ass is at home, enjoying his little semi-retirement, acting like he all hurt from last week. Max Caster get on the mic, and honestly, he wasn't really giving us anything. But then Anthony Bowens get on the mic, and then we finally feel some intensity, some emotion from the Acclaim. And I'm just like, oh, okay, Anthony's showing up and showing out. He's going to have to do that, because at some point, he's going to have to ditch your ass, Max, because you open your mouth too fucking much trying to get into all this heat on social media. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if one day you say the raw motherfucking thing and get your ass fired, but it is what it is. And the promo was all right. And to be honest, I don't really care about this little feud that they got going on. Now, we had a wild card match for the tag tournament. We had the best friends, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, with what's his name, the useless friend that come out and walk with them every single time, Chuck Taylor. They're going against Don Callis' family, which is Kyle Fletcher and Powerhouse Hobbs. I am fucking over it. Now, look. Kyle Fletcher had an amazing match with Will Ospreay. Not only that, but he has the Ring of Honor Pure title. Why the fuck is he losing to Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy? Trent Beretta, I love you, baby, but this ain't personal, all right? Why is he losing to them? After putting on a fucking masterclass the other night with Will Ospreay, he's gonna come out and lose and struggle against Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta? Are you fucking kidding me? And then we got Powerhouse Hobbs, who's big, black, and Jack, who's over there, who is the strength of the team, and they're struggling against Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. Lord have mercy, I cannot believe it. I did say earlier that Orange Cassidy sucking somebody's dick back there for him to be just, I just don't understand. I don't understand what it is about Orange Cassidy that they just cannot let go of. I try not to get riled up about it, because really it's not that serious, but it's very frustrating, because it's just like, how once again Orange Cassidy back was taped up, and they were taking advantage of his back being taped up, and still he lifts up Powerhouse Hobbs. Forget what he was going for outside the ring, but he lifted him up on his motherfucking back, and they're just trying to do everything that they can to make Orange Cassidy look so invincible. I'm so over it. They end up taking the win to advance in the tournament. How is that possible? How is that possible? That's the thing too, because it shows the flaws in the booking that Tony Khan would put Kyle Fletcher in a match with Will Ospreay and have him look like a fucking megastar, and sort of kind of bury him the very next time we see him in the ring. It's absolutely, I have no words. Now, after this, we do have Shibata versus Kevin Matthews, who must be a local talent. This was a squash. Shibata was in and out. It was just so quick. It was great to see Shibata. This man is so flawless to me. But this didn't do a damn thing. Didn't do a damn thing at all. He's supposed to have a match next week with Will Ospreay. We could have put him in a match with someone else where he could show a little bit more of who he is in the ring, and we just didn't get that. However, we had match of the night. We had Takeshita versus Rocky Romero. That shit was so good. Rocky, oh my God, he was so good. Takeshita, no matter what he does, this man is just absolutely amazing. But Rocky really brought it to this match, and it was such a joy to see. While I did have fun watching, Adam Copeland and Christian, but something about this match was so much fun. Seeing these two guys just being real technical with each other, just showing showing up and showing off, okay? And we don't see Rocky enough. I know Rocky, he's in Mexico sometimes, he's in Japan sometimes, but man, we can get him a little bit more often in AEW because he is just so amazing. Uncle Don is out there ringside with Takeshita. Takeshita ends up taking the win with what seems to be his new finisher, the Falcon Arrow. This is the first few times that I've actually seen him using this as a finisher. So that's great. He looks amazing. He's going against Swerve next week. I'm so excited to see what they do with that. Now let's talk about the main event. All right, creatures, let's keep this short and sweet. Julia Hart and Sky Blue teamed up to take on Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. We have Stoltz, who is on commentary, and this guy is so fucking hilarious. This is a street fight. These girls showed up and showed out, okay? I'll say that. And they're doing things that some guys probably would not want to do in the ring themselves, and I commend them for it. But, and it's a big-ass but, and I'm not talking about guys, this match felt like we've seen it already. If you guys remember, months back, I don't even remember what day it was, but I actually went to a Collision show where Chris and Willow had a street fight with Mercedes, Martinez, and Diamante. There was a lot of spots from that match I seen in this match, and then some other things that I've seen before in other street matches, and street fights, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really appreciate what y'all doing, but a lot of this we've already seen. And, you know, Sky Blue really stood out to me in this match because I don't believe we've seen her in a street fight before. I'm not 100% sure, but she stood out to me here, and I really enjoyed it. Sky Blue, I think I'm more likely correct here, but she must have bladed. There was a part where, you know, that thing that they ended up hitting Mark Briscoe within the head, whatever that long thing is. Julia accidentally hit Sky with it in the head, and then Sky gets up a little while later and you see she's bleeding on her forehead. Baby, you too pretty to be bleeding. That's all I gotta say. However, they showed up in this match, and I appreciate it. But when we do things like this, street fights, you don't want to I guess latch on to doing things that's already been done in those situations. So that's the only reason for me why I couldn't 100% enjoy this. Julia takes the win for her team with a Heartless onto Chris Statlander. And thank you, Tony Khan, for booking this right, that the right team won this time. I know a lot of people was expecting maybe Mercedes might have come out another time somehow, like maybe after this match, but it didn't end up happening. Really great effort from the ladies, and I enjoy this, but let's switch things up and not try to be like how, taking ideas from other matches, other things that you specifically had already done. We want things to stand out. Well, one thing did stand out to me. Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale on the announce table. Sky Blue hits a code blue onto Willow Nightingale onto the table. That's something that we didn't see before. However, it looked great, and the table stood in one piece. So I was just like, oh man, it would have been just amazing if the table would have just fucking fall to the ground, and that didn't happen. But whatever. Amazing effort, ladies. I did think that you guys did an amazing job. Let's just be a little bit more creative the next time around. You hear that, Tony Khan? Now, the show, in my opinion, I didn't really care for it all together. A lot of it really upset me, and I didn't care for it. However, there was some great things to take from here, and it was very interesting to see two titles changing hands on a Dynamite. Very interesting. But guys, if you didn't see it, go ahead and check it out. The clips are already on YouTube if you can't see the whole show. It was all right to me. I didn't really care for it as a whole. But I do appreciate you guys coming on and watching the watch along with me. And also, for those of you who watch my reviews, it's very appreciated. I am so excited to have 1,000 subscribers, and I can't wait to get many, many more. Thank you for watching my review, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for Ring of Honor. Bye.